might have to sometimes like hear what she's saying in her passion.
Right.
Because sometimes it makes sense.
Sometimes it makes sense. No,
like,
that's a fact though, right?
You know what?
When the kids,
You're right.
Yeah, that's so true,
Your
Barry.
teacher should not have done that. And you are entitled to your feelings.
Yeah.
Can I offer you something?
Right.
And they're like, yeah, because you heard them, you validated them, and you didn't scold them. Can I offer you something? Okay, dad or mom, offer. Some people don't understand that, and you have authorities who will respond to you in certain ways. So to protect yourself, what I offer is maybe when you want to get your point across, let's do it like this.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then you come and get me
Right.
because I'm going to protect you because I know that you are really trying to do what you need to do.
My dreams is vivid, work hard to live it. Any place I visit, I got land there. My dreams is vivid, work hard to live it. Any place I visit, I got
Hi, we
land
are
there.
back.
Hello, good people.
Episode 18. We are here, brothers redefining opportunity.
Yes.
And I am Destiny.
And I am Ebony.
And together we are Respectfully Ebony and Destiny.
Welcome.
Welcome. We're going to get right into it. Barry, thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Mr. Coach Coop, right?
Yeah.
Said that right?
Yep.
For gracing your presence here with us. We're going to kick it off with a self-introduction. Who are you and what is your purpose?
Well, thank y'all for having me. The podcast is amazing. What a beautiful set you guys have. I'm Barry
Thank you.
Cooper. They call me Coach Coop because I'm a transformational educator, certified in cognitive behavior therapy. I have been doing this work for a very long time, minus the gray beard. And yeah, I just love creating spaces for people so that way they can learn how to emotionally regulate and then use those tools in understanding self and emotions so they can navigate the best and healthy relationships that they can. So that's who I am, and that's the work that I do.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, in a nutshell. It's more, but I'm pretty sure you got questions.
In a nutshell.
Okay, Coach Coop, Barry, Mr. Barry. So to break the ice, and we're going to loosen up a little bit, we want to introduce you to a trivia game inspired by mental health expertise. Yours, right?
Okay.
The
Isms, girl.
Isms.
Get them together.
We just was discussing this
Get it
before. I be messing up words, y'all. Pray for me.
She got it.
So go ahead, baby. Des.
All right, so inspired by the new documentary that we were able to do a little bit of research on for the B.R.O experience, if a group of Isaacs, right, one of your members, walked into the B.R.O experience, how would you define the isms? Yeah, and I made that up, so it's fine. It's okay. You know, I make things up as I go.
I love it.
And how can we combat and or support these isms if you were to define these? So starting with racism, right? So using your mental health expertise, how would you define racism to a group of Isaacs or a group of young mentors walking into the B.R.O Experience Foundation?
I mean, that's a really good trivia question because racism is so loaded. I think if we had a group of young men like an Isaac walk into a space, the first thing we would do is allow them to feel comfortable before we even get into the conversation of any of the isms. But when we do, we will define racism as a construct, an idea that has been correlated in the minds of people who probably are dealing with xenophobia, which means fear of another. And then they use this kind of like fear or disdain or bias to then do something to an individual, right? Meaning stopping them from getting on the bus or stopping them from buying homes or having police officers lock them up at high volumes. All of those are constructs or ideas or concepts that are rooted in racism or racist acts. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, that's what I would probably say to an Isaac.
I guess my thoughts too when I hear, especially conversations that we're having now about racism, the reverse of it, right? You hear some groups saying, well, Black people are racist, and by definition, right, Black people necessarily can't be racist because we don't have the power to your point, create systems to oppress other people. So it's more of like a system construct.
Yeah, it's
right, more than like a prejudice. I don't like you because you look like this or that.
Absolutely. It's like the in order to being racist, you have to have the ability to stop just not one person, but like groups of people from elevating, excelling, or obtaining access to the resource. Now we could be biased,
right?
So a lot of us are biased.
Right.
I mean, we see it on TV today,
Right.
Which is why so many, a lot of Black folk ain't really talking about what's happening with our Mexican brothers and sisters. Not to go down the rabbit hole, but
right.
That's kind of like what they call implicit bias. So that's another form of kind of like hate towards others, without just having access to stopping them from doing things.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was good.
What's the next one?
Capitalism.
Capitalism. How would I define capitalism? To an Isaac, I would define capitalism as a tool that is utilized for financial growth. Capitalism is the very fabric of the American identity. Oftentimes, we're not really taught that and told that. America is a tool for wealth and finances. That's why the wealthy always win.
So good.
Right.
They tell us to save money while they are investing money.
Ooh, say that again. Come on.
So capitalism is a tool to help people grow and sustain wealth.
Yeah.
And it's a business mind, meaning as you grow, you should operate as a business, unfortunately. Right? That's why you get a social security number and an EIN number.
Right.
Because both of those numbers you can draw dollars from or increase wealth. So that's what capitalism is.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Can I be a member of the program? Drop some jewelry.
We need that. That's good.
What you teaching right
Yeah.
Sexism.
Sexism.
That's a good one.
I don't really know the full context definition of sexism. I think what's coming to me, well, that's a sexist. So if sexism, so I would believe that someone who is, and I might be wrong, internet world, so don't kill us on here, but I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Teach one.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I believe that sexism is when an individual utilizes their power or kind of like views other people or other genders as a thing that is out of character. And sometimes often they utilize their power to solicit sex or to demean another gender. That's what makes them a sexist. So I want to tread lightly and back off that one, but because I don't really know the true definition of it.
I would go with that definition, and I would also say just you inserting the word oppress, right? Just oppress another, gender based on patriarchy or
yes, absolutely,
et cetera, et cetera. You want to go with another one, Eb?
Yeah.
Let's see. Classism.
Classism.
Yes.
So classism is when you have like sets of people in different wealth categories, right? You got the poor class, middle class, upper middle class. So we put each other in these classes based on finances or financial brackets, and you are defined by that class. So if you're making what now? In today's society, even 100,000 is like not even, it's like working poor.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
100,000 is working poor?
Yeah, I mean,
it's true though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't afford nothing.
It's so true.
Yeah,
Sprinkle children in, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So, So it's just where people are categorized based on income or wealth in a society.
And think about the movie Titanic.
Yes.
right? Like,
Right.
right. Even though the boat was predominantly white, Jack, Leonardo, who played
Right.
Jack,
Yeah, yeah.
he was at the bottom of the
Right.
barrel.
Yeah,
And
he's
you
at
see
the
how they
bottom of
treated
He
him.
actually snuck on.
Right. A
He's
good
so
hand,
poor.
right? A good hand poker. Yeah. So yeah, that's the idea. Last one, ageism.
Ageism. I'm weak on this one too. So ageism is when one is derogatory or again oppresses a
Right.
person based on age.
Based on age, yep.
If you have somebody that is 65 and qualified for a job, but you don't hire them because you're looking for somebody younger and you say that they're too old,
Yeah.
that is ageism. You are being demeaning, derogatory, or restricted access to a person based on age.
And I feel like I've experienced in our culture specifically.
Yeah.
Once you hit 35, people start looking at you like, and I'm like,
Oh.
100%.
I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
That's a fact.
And I work the line of work that I'm in as a palliative care navigator. I work with patients over 90. So I'm like, we are at our literally like not even at our peak.
Especially in this day and age when
Between 30, even 50, and
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Especially when you're dealing with digital media.
right.
Everything is social media. Everything is video. And the first thing people think when they think older people is that they don't have the knowledge or the wherewithal to actually operate in these spaces. And
Right.
they just
That's
need to
not
be
true.
taught.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a wherewithal. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so to get to know you a little better, let's start with your childhood.
Yes.
As a children's book author of Mama's Baby, Papa's Baby 2 and self-publisher, which I'll gift you at the end of the episode, I would like to understand how your childhood experiences shaped you as an adult.
I got some good questions on here. All right, so this is a really good question because I think who I am today is the very fabric of my upbringing and my childhood. I grew up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, for most of my life, or most of my awareness, I would say. Probably lived other places, but when I jumped off the stoop and was outside, I was on Lexington and Marcus Garvey in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Grew up in a 2-parent home. Both my parents worked and, did the best that they could. But, my community was what it was. So
Right.
oftentimes I would leave the house and, my dad was a real strict black father. He ain't play, but he taught me, like, if you're going to be outside, this is what you got to do. And this is how you're going to survive being outside. So I was a street kid. I was outside all the time, which I often got in trouble, just trying to navigate the heartbeat of Bedford-Stuyvesant. But I think it gave me the grit. It gave me the tenacity that I needed to do what I'm doing now. But, growing up, I didn't, really do well in school, so that often kept me in trouble, which the messages that I did get from my father at that time was that he didn't really care for me. So we had a lot of tension, and which kind of like kept this kind of like silent anger and resentment that I would have in my spirit. So whenever I would go outside, I would always have like negative interactions with other young men. And, just like in the back of my mind, I'm the only man I'm afraid of is this guy. So everybody outside is all systems go. And, as I got older and I started to do self-work, I realized that, my dad was only trying to raise me in the way and the tools that he had. So that allowed me to give him a lot more grace. And then it also gave me the ability to say that, I knew the traumas and the trials and tribulations that I went through as a young man and a young teen father at that. And I just didn't want other young men to go through that. And at that time, I didn't know it was going to be the B.R.O experience or me becoming an educator. In fact, when I turned 18, 19, I started cutting hair in a barbershop. And that was like my front row seat to see all type of men from ages 8 to 88 and being like catapulted through the lives of their stories and the things that they went through, along with the things that I was going through as a young man at that time in the early 2000s. Really, really like shaped me to have empathy for black men, and always wanted to create space where they felt seen and hers. So the barbershop was the first playground. I ended up going back to school and getting my education and getting a degree in educational psychology.
Nice.
And then I became the dean and director coach at Eagle Academy,
Wow.
which is an all-boys school. And so creating mentorship spaces for young men and then working with the Department of Probation. So I think that I always try to create space where Black boys could be seen, heard, and nurtured, because I didn't necessarily think that my father had those tools when I was growing up. So, yeah, it's very indicative to who I am today. And I'm proud to say that me and my dad have a great relationship now.
Awesome.
And he makes me feel weird. He be like, son, you're the best. You're so amazing. And it's just like, he still doesn't even realize how much that impacts a little boy in me. Like, to hear him say it at 43.
To affirm you.
When I wanted him to say it when I was 9.
Yeah.
It still gives me that same chill. So,
Yeah.
my childhood was the very fabric of who I am.
That was
That's
excellent.
good.
That
I
was a
can
great
imagine the
answer.
conversations in the barbershop. You know how when we getting our hair done and like the conversations really pouring into men, right? Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I always say it's the most, it's the safest but the most toxic
Right.
environment ever.
And I want to be a fly in what I'm talking about.
We can curse, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay. The shit you say in the barbershop is not therapeutic.
Right.
Don't take no advice from no barber. Don't take no advice
my
from the
God.
person waiting in the
Right.
chair. We are all operating ego.
Right.
However, it is all we know.
Operating ego
Right.
is
Yeah, absolutely.
funny.
You get advice in the barbershop, 9 times to that person is drunk or
Right.
high
Talking
or been through some type of trauma. So be
And
careful.
how long? So you started your own barbershop.
Yeah.
So how long did it last?
Yeah, so I opened my first barbershop at 22. So like school wasn't my thing. I was like struggling with the idea of educational institutions. So I just learned the skill. Barbering was like always, to your point, like as a child, you don't really know what the conversations were. But you see every type of Black man, So I remember that. So when I had the opportunity to say, all right, what is Barry gonna do? I was like, I'm gonna be a barber. And I literally just started cutting hair, and I opened a barbershop, and I created that utopia. Was it the healthiest? Absolutely not. We were doing things in there that I didn't even think that I would even get into, but that's a whole other story.
It's a safe space.
Yes,
Right.
It's a safe space.
Yeah,
here.
safe space for the nutcrackers and the marijuana. Yeah, it was definitely.
It was the go-to.
It was a one-stop.
One-stop shop.
Yeah, it was a one-stop shop, but
But it was
taught
safe.
me.
It was you guys' safe space.
Yeah, it taught me. It taught me a lot about the journey of Black men, and for some reason that just stuck with me, and it just became the thing that I always wanted, the code I wanted to crack. Like, why are we all the same? Why are we all responding to life the same way?
Wow.
Why are we all here but not with our families?
Yeah.
And these questions just kept bubbling in my brain, and then
But when you say why are we all here and not with our families?
Yeah.
Do you mean with our children?
yeah, with our children, like a lot of times, and I wrote a self-help book called The Provider: A Guide for Co-Parenting Dads in 2017. But the biggest question was like, we always seen ourselves as babysitters. Like it was like, yeah, you got the
that's
kids, yeah, bro. I got. It was like this,
Good.
So we talk.
this
always say that,
uncomfortable thing.
These are your kids.
These are your
Yeah,
kids.
absolutely.
Babysitting involved.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's
So
good.
I would always ask,
Yeah.
like, why do we approach it like that? And then, getting into transformational education and
Yeah.
cognitive
Changing the
behavior therapy,
narrative.
you realize that how do I know how to raise a baby, or how do I know to have worth as a father if I never seen it emulated?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
That was good. Coach Coop is more than a nickname. It's a
Yes.
responsibility. What does that title mean to you? And when it comes to guiding young men through your healing and accountability.
Yeah. So first, I am not a coach by design of any sport, as y'all can see. You will not catch me running on the track, basketball court, or football field, not unless I'm in the stands rooting on the team. But the word coach comes from being a transformational educator. So my first certifications were in life coaching and transformational education. And then I got into cognitive behavior therapy. But I like the word coach because it's a little less evasive than therapist,
Right.
or social worker.
I like that. Yeah.
So just really trying to find language that
Yeah.
young men can identify with. So when you
That's
come
good.
to us or you come to me for this mental support or this emotional support, you're not looking at me from a social worker. Like I'm helping
Right.
your social life. I'm actually coaching you through your social journey. So that's why in our work at the B.R.O experience, everybody, I don't care if you're a licensed psychiatrist, I don't care if you're a licensed social worker, you go by coach if you want them to give you any turn when they address you. So it just literally just levels the playing field. And then the other part of it is I like boxing. And when you think about the metaphor of a cornerman in boxing, the cornerman allows the boxer in training to fully understand that his opponent, will support the boxer all the way up to fight night. But the only person that's in the ring is the fighter. And the cornerman is always on the side watching and waiting for the outcome just like the rest of the world. And when that boxer wins or lose, that cornerman is still in that boxer's
Still
corner.
there.
That's
So we
good.
use that
Still there.
philosophy in our
That's
work
so
as
good.
coaches,
dope.
that it's our job to not fight to fight for our young people, right? All we are there is to give them the tools to fight. And then when they win or they lose, it's our job to stand by them and point out what went wrong, and then also praise them when they do well. So those are the two philosophies that we use and why I use the word coach.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Great analogies to use too. Ideologies to use.
Yeah.
You started the B.R.O experience in 2020, right? A year we can all agree filled with collective trauma. How did that moment in history shape the urgency and direction of your mission?
Yeah, I mean, I think like everybody else, the pandemic created isolation, but I think it also kind of birthed ideas in people.
For
I think
sure.
that gave us, in the midst of chaos, there was a beauty that we all got to sit down. And I started to question myself because everything that I did up until that point was like, you can't meet with kids, or the programs that I was working, working with the Department of Probation and all of these different institutions, it was just like giving me restrictions.
Right.
And I'm like, well, these young people are outside.
Right.
Like, they still outside, and no one,
Still
you
outside.
telling me I can't see my young people? They, and at that time it was like the rise of the firecrackers, kids riding the top of the trains,
Right.
shooting at each other. So I was just like, you know what, Barry, like, is it just good for you to be good at this work? Or are you going to create your own entity? And sitting in the house, just kind of like building out the paperwork. I came up with the B.R.O experience based on identifying all of the things that I did and, what population of people or demographics of people that I wanted to support. And then the 8-1 precinct commanding officer here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, he reached out and was like, hey, there's something going on in Malcolm X Boulevard in Brooklyn. These young men are killing each other.
Wow.
I need you. And that was the birth of how we kind of like started to work.
Wow.
I was like, it's pandemic, bro. What you want me
Right.
to do?
Where I'm going?
Yeah, where am I
Outside?
going? And he was just like, yo, just jump on the Zoom. And I got like 90 community members who are afraid. And when I got on the Zoom, he was like, yeah, this is Barry Cooper, Coach Coop. He's going to fix everything. He's going to help us. And, my heart is big, so I went to Jackie Robinson
So they
houses.
were familiar with your work? The precinct,
The
obviously?
precinct was familiar with my work. Yeah. And I went in there and I just looked at the young men and I just couldn't leave. So I
Right.
figured it out. And
Do you think that
6 years
call was your
later,
confirmation?
yeah, it was just like,
Right?
yeah, I'm like, I'm
Right?
here now. I ain't gonna walk away from them.
Yeah.
My spirit just didn't let me do that. And it was the blessing that needed to birth what I now know today. And we went from no money to now operating at $1.3 million.
Come on now.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
Come on
it's
now.
a blessing. It's a
Look at
real
God.
blessing.
That's a blessing
Yeah.
for sure.
And
For
to have
sure.
someone reel you in, specifically, you said the chief, right?
Yeah, they call them
police?
inspectors in the precinct. So Inspector Glenn at the time, he reached out to me and was like, "Listen, they need therapy. They need real support over here, not just like cure violence." So I went and that's how we started.
Because most of us would want to connect with You know what I mean? The police department in that way so that we can partner.
Yeah.
But some of us just don't have that connection or don't have the resources or the tools or the rapport with the precinct.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
Right.
fact that, to Ebony's point,
They
that they
reached out.
reached out to you directly is like,
Major.
okay, well, I have to answer this call.
Yeah, 100%. Just
Yeah.
to your point, they don't really reach
Right?
out. So
I've never
Right.
heard
Definitely a
anything
calling.
like that.
You gonna call Barry on that phone.
Oh, y'all making me feel special now. Now I'm reflecting like,
No, seriously, that's big. That's
Yeah,
big.
yeah, don't yeah, hear no.
They're not calling just anybody, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was major. You often speak about creating safe spaces for young men of color. In your experience, what makes a space truly safe, not just physically but emotionally?
that's a
I
profound
like that
question.
one. Yeah, I like that one.
Just think of it like this. When a young man hits 18, if he's still at home with his mother, at some point she's telling him if he goes into that refrigerator, he needs to get a job,
That's a fact.
right?
Yeah.
That starts the precipice of lack of safety. At some point, if that guy also uses too much soap in the crib, right,
soap.
he is doing too much.
Right.
So with our young men, I think the definition of a true safe space is as long as they are not destroying it, they have access to everything that's in the space because they belong there, right? And when they belong here, it doesn't matter what they eat, what they drink, or what they do because that's what they need that. So when we create spaces, our ideology is that when we create it, the first thing we do is we make sure that it looks like you, and I mean like literally, you see your picture on the wall, right, blown up. Your quotes, the things that they may say in a group session, we will turn them into quotes and put them on the wall. So that way, when they walk into the space the next time,
they can
they know
identify.
that
It's
what was
inviting.
said last week was not only remembered,
Right.
but highlighted.
Yeah.
When they not here, when they walk into the space, somebody is seeing them, right? And while they're not even present physically in the space, that means something. That creates a sense of belonging that you would never believe. And then in the B.R.O space, the physical space, they're never asked to leave, right? Like they have access to it as long as those doors can stay open.
Yeah.
And that means the world when you have a lot of young men growing up in urban communities where they're probably like in buildings with 22 floors.
Yeah.
So what are the hours?
I was gonna
You're
say,
making
is
me
it
think.
24?
Our space opens up around like 8 and we close around like 9 or 10.
Oh, nice.
I'm hoping that at some point we're able to open up a facility that can almost be 24 hours.
yeah.
And we have like residential living specifically for young fathers. But we're still growing to that. But
That's a goal.
right now, our young men can come and just literally like lay on the couch if they need it.
Yeah. I love that.
We need to visit, Ebony. We
Right.
need to visit.
Yeah, you should
For
definitely
sure.
come
We
by.
would love
So,
to, have
Bro,
a tour
girl.
and
yeah,
say
it's
hello
really
to the
dope.
staff
It's really
and the
dope.
members.
So I think that's the definition of what we call a safe space. The last point I want to make, not to belabor on it, but a lot of our young men, when they walk in community, they always hiding themselves, right? They got shiesty on, a hoodie,
Yep.
a vest, everything, and it'd be 92 degrees.
Yeah.
We know that the work is working, but after a while, before they even get to the door, they pulling it up because they know that they have left the threat and they actually walked into safety. So those are the things that we look for.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love that. Good
That's
stuff.
amazing.
Come on, Barry.
I like how you said left the threat. I never thought about it like
Right.
that.
Left the threat.
The
The
community is
streets,
the threat.
the community, yep, could definitely be a threat. They're ops, aka, whoever they, have issues with. So kudos to you for creating that space.
Thank you.
And as a founder, how do you balance being a mentor, an emotional anchor, while also protecting your own mental health?
That's good.
Ooh, we about to have you cry in this place. That's a trigger. That's a trigger question
No,
right
that's
now in
good,
my
though.
life.
That's good.
I'll be honest with you. That's something that I'm struggling with right now. With success and exposure comes the greatest bit of responsibility ever. With more money and resources comes more responsibility of people because you want to show the world that you're not frivolous with the gifts that they give. So you hire more people in order to make sure that the work is impactful. And what I've been going through over the last year, I would say 18 months, is just really trying to balance that.
Yeah.
And I haven't really been that successful of it. I think even in this last 2 years, I've gained the most weight that I've ever gained in my life, and it's impacted me physically, mentally, while still trying to carry the weight of the work. So as I'm redefining and reframing and trying to understand this new emotional journey as a leader, because I love what I do, it's kind of hard. But I think what we do well and what I try to do well is I create community around things that I'm not really sure of. So like this year, we kind of like bought the fight camp and we brought workout tools inside of the space. Nice. So now, because, I'm vulnerable like that, I let the young men know, all right, this is what I'm struggling with.
Right.
Now we all work out together.
That's
right?
good.
Or if they see me slipping and I got a bag of chips, they like, what you doing with that, right?
Coach Barry.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Because no one is without need of support. And I think that was the best thing that I could have ever done. So in December, we started to buy the equipment because I'm like, I ain't going to nobody bling. I ain't going to nobody gym. I got a Peloton in my living room.
Most of the time,
right? So it's not working. So I now said, okay, well, what if I created the health and the fitness in the community that I'm with every single day? And that has been
You ain't going to have no choice to join in, right? With them. Yeah. I was going to ask you, what is that you time, that quiet time? The gym is good, but what's that quiet time when you're like, listen, I need to pause for a minute?
Yeah, that's still a journey.
Yeah,
it's still a journey. I think, I'm still learning how to be the best executive that I can be in this rapid growing space that we're in. When people see the impact of the work, I think because we've been craving for this for young men of color, everybody is at our doorstep, and I mean, this is like, I appreciate it, but it does come with a set level of responsibility that I never had before.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to find the me time in the work while cultivating a new leadership team. And oftentimes people don't talk about that. They don't talk about the burnout in the midst of us trying to become our greatest self. So I think I'm doing well because I'm aware of it, but it's still a work in progress. Yeah.
I did a little snoop, and I seen your wife, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure, thankfully, you have your wife that you can lean on. Her, and she has an aesthetics, like skincare business.
So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she used to. So she closed it down. She not because she didn't. She wasn't successful in it. She was, but at the time we had our son August. And she was just like, yo, I want to be, like we both had businesses, we both had booming businesses with a brand new baby. And at that time, Chase was 18, getting ready to graduate and go to college. We got a teenage daughter that's like becoming a woman.
Right.
So there were a lot of decisions that had to be made. So now she does event management for a law firm company that works with like young lawyers. And I still have the nonprofit. So we had to pivot and change. But to your question, I think you were going to ask me, she be on my ass. She was like, yeah.
I'm like, at least you have her be like,
she be on that ass.
Yeah, she don't play. She ain't play. She like, you better get on this Monjaro. You better get on this, whatever that stuff.
So you have that support. Exactly.
Yeah, you better get on that weight loss stuff. So.
You're picking up what I put down.
Yeah. We working through it.
But I always say this to Des, like, we can give until we can't give no more. But we still got to pour into ourselves because we ain't going to be able to pour into nobody else. And, we got to fuel ourselves up.
Yes.
So I'm encouraging you, listen, it's heavy, right?
Yeah.
But you got to pour into yourself.
No,
first,
absolutely. Absolutely.
And I got to tell that to myself as well.
Yeah.
Like, pause, Ebony, because I do 100 things. But I'm learning to sit, pause for a few minutes, get my mind right so that I'll be able to pour into, the community and my family and my friends. Because it's easy to lose it. Like, and then we be in a hospital somewhere. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Especially with men.
Especially with men, we are not staying alive long enough to even see our babies grow. So that's definitely something that I don't take lightly. And then, it's weird because when you do this work and you're aware of it, it brings even more responsibility. It's like, you know what to do, but someone's on your phone or you got to go here. So it's just really trying to put it all together, but working on it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I feel the same way. As a chronic disease management health coach and palliative care navigator for over 10 years, to your point, I know what not to eat. I know what leads to what disease or what leads to this. But to Ebony's point, mental health is key in making sure I'm doing the things that I need to do to align my mental health, tap into my spirituality, read my Bible, do whatever that I need to do to quiet the noise, because I'm also a mother of 3, working full-time, doing a podcast, doing a million and one things, entrepreneuring, and you can't if you're not in a good headspace, right? And you can't be the best version of yourself if you're not in a good headspace. So I'm sure you know the mental health expert.
And then also, like, when you're the first of the thing, right? Like, you might be the first being successful in your family, right? All of those responsibilities. So, and then we're never taught, like Black and brown people, we start at a deficit that, hell, by the time I got this, I'm like, I'm already tired. People are like, you got more. I'm just like, you know what it took to build this? So all of those things are factors. But to your point, Ab, it don't matter, right? Because you only get one time to do life.
That's it.
Right? Like we can't press repeat.
That's it.
Or you don't got an extra player.
Right.
when you go, you go. So it's something I'm very, very like. It's the forefront, and like my wife is not playing with me.
I was going to say, wifey ain't playing that with you.
You can't do that.
And it's important too to have that team, like your team. Who's in your corner, your friends. Like, listen, Desh, you gotta slow down. So it's important to have those people in your life as well.
Who's gonna be honest?
That's gonna be honest.
Yeah, you gotta be honest,
not
right?
just
So
feed
kudos to wifey.
Whatever you want to hear.
As a man saying this out loud, right? I think that most men would have given the answer like, I'm good, I'm managing it. And it's just like, nah, I'm great. I'm doing
it's tough.
Amazing, but I'm human also, right? And I want to share that so that when anybody that's listening
of course
can understand that I don't care who you are. You could be Oprah, you could be, we all got issues. I'm just the first to admit it. Like those things are things that need to be said to people who are listening. It's important.
Yeah, I didn't catch that Kanye bar, but next question. Wait, what was Kanye? Next question. I'm the first to admit it. I'm the music head over here.
Right. We see the impact of the B.R.O experience. I love that name too, the B.R.O experience. Is having on the young men in Brooklyn. What do you think it would take to build the same levels in like the Bronx, the Queens? Like, because in the beginning of the show, I was asking about, do y'all got other,
Yeah.
Like how
like
we want some of this in Harlem and in the Bronx, like how
Yeah. For first, it's gonna take for this episode to go viral, right? So more people can see it. And I think the other aspect, and this is probably a little political, but the resources don't equate to the type of support that we need. And what I mean by that is that we always put mental health as a by the way because we only know how to help people when they're in crisis versus creating the space for healthy prevention, right? Like if you were Black and brown, we all need a therapist because by the time you hit 16 to 17, you have seen something or been exposed to something that you shouldn't have, and it has left a lingering thought in your mind, and then they start to call that PTSD. Or some form of trauma,
right?
Whether it's educational, whether it's economical, whether it's in your household, on the outside of your building, you have seen something traumatic or you need support. So by nature of that, they need to pour significant dollars in programming throughout New York City that not just sustain young people, but also young adults, teenagers, so on and so forth. Like that needs to be the very fabric of our social existence, mental support and emotional support. When it comes to the funding, oftentimes what happens is that we get new political leaders and they start off that way, but then they go to public safety and they either want to put it in gang prevention or more policing.
Police,
Right, and or they say they're going to give jobs, And I'm like, you can offer as many jobs as you want to an individual, but if they don't feel worthy, they will never show up to that job. So how do we put money into real character development and emotional regulation? And I think that that's how we'll be able to expand the work in a way that the whole city can feel it, because we are mental health and mental wellness work. I'm not waiting for somebody to get shot or die. And even if that unfortunately happens, that's not indicative to how we respond to young men of color. Like, we work with young men of color because they need the support, not because they have been identified as a gang member.
Right.
Right? Because most young men are not killing each other. They're actually on the corner drinking, and before you know it, 10 years go by and they become the old man, and they're only 30 or 40.
Yep.
Or most young men are couch surfing because they're not even identified as on leases and or in the shelter system.
That's so true.
So there's an invisible man that's in our society that we're not even taking account for because we put our money in places that don't work for them.
Yeah.
So I think that that's how we expand the work, when the city can realize that
We got to get to work.
our work matters.
Right.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. I think that's a perfect segue for the big idea. Can you talk to our audience about the big idea project that I've seen floating around on Instagram that you have pitched? And how could like an entrepreneur like myself or Ebony or any other entrepreneur present a big idea? Were you personally pitched for that as well? Handpicked for that?
So the big idea, if I'm not mistaken, you're talking from the David Prize?
Yes.
Okay, so I am...
Well, what's it, the David Prize? There's this big idea. There's this Instagram that I've
they got
seen.
So they got this
where
marketing.
everyone's going, different entrepreneurs are pitching their ideas.
Yes.
Is that a part of intertwined with the David
so
Prize?
that's intertwined in it.
Okay.
So the big idea is interconnected into the David Prize competition.
Got it.
However, what it is like, just because you may have won or you didn't win the David Prize doesn't mean that your idea is not big and you should not go out and pursue it. So every one of us has something that we have experienced that shaped what it is that we want to do. So your big idea, my big idea is to create a wellness center for young men of color across New York City. Whether I win the David Prize or not, I'm going to still do the work. But I want the city to know that, so that way if someone wants to support what I'm doing already, they can just kind of like support it. Now, I've been fortunate enough that this year, or 2025.
You did win, right?
Yeah, I won the David Prize.
Somebody won, guys.
Yeah. So I did win.
Good stuff.
Everybody be calling, asking for a whole $1 and all that.
Let me borrow $20.
I did win the $200,000.
What year
I
was
got all the
this?
support.
Last year, right?
Oh, really?
2025,
Oh,
yeah. So I'm in
nice.
2025.
Okay.
One of five.
That's amazing.
People
That
who
is.
won
That's
Good
amazing.
stuff.
One of five?
200,000.
One of five?
Yeah, one of five.
Awesome.
So I think like maybe 13,000 people applied.
Wow. You are the chosen one, Barry.
Yeah.
How many people? And they
So-
chose you. No, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah.
So.
Coach Coop, a.k.a. the chosen one.
The chosen. Yeah, we give everybody names.
Everybody
Give everybody names.
It's so funny. 'Cause when
The
black people win
chosen
something, they be like, chosen. Like,
You are that.
That's good.
That's amazing.
Thank you,
So
thank
again,
you.
so that was something that, okay, so 13,000 participants.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's been growing, because once people like every year learning about it. Now here's the thing. I wrote for it 4 years in a row and lost every year.
See, keep going.
So you
Right.
gotta just
Persistence.
Yep.
That's a
yeah.
That's a word.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be
Don't stop.
persistent.
No, that's
You got to
good.
be persistent in this pursuit of trying to elevate. So
Yeah.
But nobody cared about that. I wrote 4 years in a row. All they care about is 2025.
Right.
So
right.
it's dope. It's dope.
But I for me, I love the progress. You get into that point and never stopping. You never gave
Absolutely.
up. That's it for me.
yeah,
That's it for
absolutely.
me. Don't give up.
You use
Go ahead.
cognitive behavioral therapy in your work. So how do you make therapeutic language relatable for young men who may be
Yeah.
unfamiliar with it?
So CBT is probably, to me, one of the best forms of therapeutic approaches for men, but I think for every human. And the reason being is that it is a very practical tool. So when you get a client or you're working with somebody, you are able to make it a little bit more objective. And what I mean by that is you having them thinking about the experience from the lens of like, yo, what happened? And they're like, yo, this happened, or this person did this, and now you ease them into, well, how did you feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
So before they know it, they are now able to say like, well, I felt angry or frustrated. Okay, were you sad? And now you walk them through what they call emotional vocabulary. And as they're doing that based on this experience that they tell you, now you ask them, well, what did you do? What was your response? And that is the behavior, right? So see, in CBT, you have people cycle through the experience, what the emotional feeling was, and then what the behavioral response is. And in the behavioral response, what happens is that once you hear what your client or your participant did, you start to offer new ways of behaving based on the experience and even the feeling. So if you say like, oh, I was sad, so I went in my room and I slammed the door lock and I didn't come out for a day. Okay, so were you hungry? Yeah. Did you end up talking to your mom after? Yeah. So what if you would have sent her a text while you were sitting in the room and you was able to express yourself? What do you think you would have happened? Right? And that's the change in behavior. So you're offering the change, and now they're able to think about what their new experience is. And then whatever that new experience is, well, how do you think you would feel if she came at you this way? Oh, I probably feel a little better. And now that person doesn't stay stuck in the room.
Yeah.
Because what you don't want to happen is that if that individual isolates in that type of way, then that habit follows them. So now you're in a relationship and you and your significant other get into a big fight. Right. And the first thing you do is you go into the room or you lock yourself in the bathroom and you isolate. And then now that's showing up. You get into an argument with your boss. Now you got to go outside and take a 20-minute walk and no one know where you at. You're isolating. So in our work, we try to have the individuals always cognitively thinking about what they're going through, what is actually being said in the midst of the feelings. Because sometimes you might even go for a job interview, and because they rejected you, you say you're not good enough. And now you never fill out an application again. Where'd you get that ideology from?
Right.
And what experience made you think that you weren't good enough? And we walked them through that process. So, CBT is one of the modalities out of the things that we teach. But I feel like it's the most practical and less invasive therapeutic approach, specifically for men, because we often say that we don't have feelings. Brothers, that is a lie. We do. We operate in our feelings more than we ever want to admit to it, because we don't even think that we have feelings. So how would you know if you are being emotional if you don't think that you're emotional? So we're the most emotional human beings on the earth. So we have them cycle through all of those emotional distortions. So that way they know how to what we call reframe or redefine what it is that they're going through, so they have better behavior. I know that was a lot, but that's kind of like the
that's
gist.
good.
Yeah, and
I need some of those tactics,
right? But in simpler terms, what I enjoyed specifically watching the documentary, right? It's basically how your thoughts interact with your feelings and how your feelings produce your behavior and your actions. But you know what it sounds like?
What?
How I think creates how I feel. How I feel becomes an emotion. The emotion becomes a magnet that attracts things to me.
That's so
One
true.
of our first guests, he uses that mantra.
That's his mantra.
Yes, smart guy. He's from Harlem. He uses the mantra, and ironically, he's anti-therapy, but that's another conversation. And then when I learned about
he stick on that mantra though.
Behavior therapy, I'm like, but he's using one of the modalities. I'm like, he think he's slick.
Right.
He got this from somewhere that made it wrong. Made up the rhyme. Right. But it's how you think creates how you feel, and that's what creates your behavior. Right? Your thoughts.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as manifestation. It's actually the exercise of being healthy in chaos, right? Because sometimes, right, you might send a text to mom, and she may not respond in the way that you wanted to, but you was able to still release, and she still had to hear your thoughts. That's exposure therapy. That gives you the ability to have a voice even when you don't think you have a voice. So it's just like teaching them how to navigate all of those feelings through chaos.
Okay, well, this is off script. How do you help someone like me who has an 11-year-old daughter?
Okay.
Therapy
right?
session.
Because I'm a millennial.
That's
Okay.
So I'm trying to navigate this whole Gen 2 parenting
Yeah.
versus traditional parenting. Right? There's a balance, and then you have the children who push your buttons. Like,
Yeah.
how do I try to receive her communicating or expressing her thoughts and feelings?
How old is she?
But
11.
She's 11.
11.
She'll be
She's
12 in April. But I may not agree with her approach, and
Yeah.
I may tell her, okay, you can't speak that way, or you can't use that tone.
Yeah.
And it's like, but she's really just passionate,
Expressing
and
how
she's
she
expressing
feels, yeah.
herself. So how would you help like a
Yeah,
parent
how do you not
and a
stri-
member?
No.
Yeah. Well, being a member of the fire sign parent Aries, my August is 4 going on 40.
Right.
And let me tell you something, his fire is off the
And we're
charts.
both fire
Really?
signs.
Yeah. And what I would say to you is this. We want to parent in a way where we create guardrails,
Yeah.
but not suppress. Because the very fire that's getting her in trouble will be the fire that she needs to get her in every door that she wants.
Come on.
So having a child who has opinions, thoughts, and passion, you might have to debate with them, right? And it might be exhausting,
Yeah.
but they
But it's
deserve
gonna
the
be worth
debate
it,
because
yeah.
the thing is that they're only going to be a child for 5% of their life. The rest of their life, they're
Yeah.
going to be adults.
Yeah.
And if we operate from a standpoint where we are trying to treat them as children, and that means that we're not raising
Young
little
adults.
humans,
Right, little humans. Got
right?
it.
Like so, and it's rooted now in power versus
This
guidance.
is so good.
So you might have to sometimes like hear what she's saying in her passion,
Right.
because sometimes it makes sense.
Sometimes it makes sense. No,
like-
that's a fact, though, right?
You know what?
When the kids, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's so true,
Your
Barry.
teacher should not have done that. And you are entitled to your feelings.
Yeah.
Can I offer you something?
Right.
And then he's like, yeah, because you heard them, you validated them, and you didn't scold them. Can I offer you something? Okay, dad or mom, offer. Some people don't understand that, and you have authorities who will respond to you in certain ways. So to protect yourself, what I offer is maybe when you want to get your point across, let's do it like this.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then you come and get me
Right.
because I'm going to protect you because I know that you are really trying to do what you need to do. And that's all you can do because they're going to get older and older. And as long as you have that consistent conversation and you wield that superpower that they have, when they step out to the world, and now they got to really use that to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened with August. August was in he in the school. I ain't gonna say the school. There's this little girl in there who be terrorizing the boys. And
Don't do that in August.
August,
Don't do that to August.
yeah, August waited. And he waited. And he walked by a girl one day and went like this and scratched her.
Ooh.
Now he got in trouble. He shouldn't have did that. You don't put your hands on nobody. But when I sat August down and I said, "Hey, son, what made you do that?"
Right.
Right.
He said, "Daddy, he put this and she did this and that, and I waited and I did what I did." And I was like, oh.
I bet she ain't scratch him again, though.
Right.
But I still had to hold him accountable for the action.
Yeah.
Right.
But I had to validate, like, yeah, you got tired.
Yeah.
And you just you was calculating. And I was like, that's a
Right.
good trick to have.
Yeah.
Keep that up, son. But don't do it like
Keep
this.
that up, son.
Yeah, so it's just like having that constant conversation is critical.
That was great advice.
Yeah.
Thank
Well, I
you.
need some advice.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
let's get advice. It's gonna be that advice segment. No, real fast. I want to know, how do I communicate? Let me say this in the best way, because my family members sometimes. Let me say it in the best way. I want to learn how to communicate. I have a loved one that I won't say we're feuding, but it's a disconnect. And I've been on blood aid. I don't want to hear that blood is,
Thicker than water.
right. It's the people that's around you that cares and supports you. That's my family.
Yeah.
I want to get out of that space. I don't want to feel that. But I want to know, how do I communicate with an open heart and take out my emotions, because that is my sibling.
Got you. So you want to know how to, just correct me if I'm wrong, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You want to know how to communicate without operating in your emotions.
Yes.
Okay.
From the hurt that I feel.
While you are navigating communication with this individual.
Right.
Well, first, know that you're going to communicate operating in your emotions. Emotions are things that we cannot stop nor control. We only could be aware of them. Right? So knowing that you are an emotional being, which that's not a negative thing. So I just want to kill this misconception that when a person says that they're emotional, that it is a bad thing. That is not.
Yeah.
We all are. We cannot control it. Right? Like some people might just show emotions a little bit more. They're louder than others. But your emotion, we all feel it. So knowing that you operate in that way, again, like I told you earlier about like writing it down, you may have to write it down before you speak.
Oh, that's good.
It might be a situation where,
in
the midst of, because this communication is real, in the midst of communicating, that person might be saying things that trigger you,
right?
And you get tongue tied. Like you don't even have the response because your emotions are speaking louder inside of you than your cognitive ability to respond back. Digest what's being said, and then ask, can we have a follow-up?
That's good.
Can we have a follow-up comment so I can process what you are saying to me or what you are experiencing? So that way then now you process and now you're able to build your rebuttal. So, okay, you said X, this is how I feel. Or you said this and I fully didn't really understand what you were saying. Can you elaborate and give me context?
Yeah.
Those are the things that I think you need to practice in order for you to communicate with someone you say you love.
Right.
Now, there's a caveat to that because I ain't telling you to be a punk. Sometimes, in order to gain respect from people who you love dearly and who have known you from knee-high to a Johnny pump, you might have to take a step back. Right? And allow them to only see you where you choose to, so that way a new level of respect can be recalibrated and they will appreciate the time that they have with you. Sometimes people treat you bad because they're too familiar.
Ooh, say it again?
People treat you bad because they're too familiar.
Jeez.
They know everything about your weakness and this, that, and the third. And when they not feeling good about themselves, they look at you like, boy, you need to go lose some weight. How the fuck are you going to tell me that? You know I'm walking around with this weight.
Right.
You ain't got to tell me that, auntie. All right. I got to go.
Right.
Because you're not going to compromise what I'm feeling. And I'm already walking around with this.
Yeah.
And now you a mirror to me. I don't need your mirror. And you're able to take a step back where now when she see you, she's more appreciative of being around you.
Yeah.
Because
giving you supportive words, not, telling me I'm big. No, give me some, support me. You know, come to the gym with me. Let's work out together. Let's stretch together,
100%. So, you gotta be cognizant of where your emotions take you.
Yeah.
Right? That's holding yourself accountable in the interaction. Either write down what you're gonna say, have your points.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
That's really good.
Or when a person is giving you information, take time to receive the information.
Listen.
You don't even gotta respond. Digest it and then come back.
That was good, Barry. Thank you so much.
I want to know who the person is that put you on the spot.
Patreon!
Listen, I was open. I said my daughter. No, this is really good stuff. We use that also, those tactics for our patients when you go to speak to doctors, right? Specifically the elderly patients. You have the white coat syndrome. Oftentimes they don't want to really tell the doctor what's going on or they forget. The doctor's rushing. So we say, write down a list of your questions, prioritize them, right? So his point, if you don't get to number 4 or 5, you may have to
need a
put 4 or 5
follow-up.
on follow-up.
Yeah.
Right, but prioritize
that's
what you want to
good.
tell that person so that, at least you can get that off your chest and feel that weight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feel that weight.
Yeah.
That's critical. That's critical.
That was good.
You need an adult
Very
sister
cute.
bro
Started.
experience.
Don't worry, it's coming.
Sister
It's
experience.
coming.
Script. No, we're on script. And I think that's also a perfect segue. I wanted to ask you, like, sidebar, there's a lot of these programs, which I love, that feed into younger, demographic. Say, for instance, they have a lot of, like, incentives for free CDLs or, take construction courses, but you have to be between the ages of 18 and 25. I know people 40 still struggling.
It's a fact.
You know what I mean? Who, to your point, who need to feed their families and need to be in their children's lives, but they're not getting the incentives in the program. What do you say to that?
That's good.
Yeah, I got mixed feelings.
Look at the time.
I got mixed feelings around it. I think.
But let me give you one specific example, right? Someone who went away at 19, who a huge chunk of their life was taken away because they were caught up in a gang conspiracy.
Yeah.
And they go to the feds from 19 to 19 to 29.
Yeah.
So they lost that.
Yeah, they did.
That time. So they're catching up. They come home, but they haven't had the access and the resources or, the time to really take advantage of the B.R.O experience because they may have aged out.
Yeah.
So now they're just like, well, you got to get grown.
Yeah.
You take care of your kids. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so 100%. I think what I like to say to that is that I think that it goes back to the question on, like, the finances. What if we created a world where we pay them to go through self-development?
Right.
Right? Instead of trying to get them to get the CDL, the OSHA, actually, spend 2 years in this stipend-based program where we will consistently pay you as long as you show up and go for therapeutic care. So that way you could peel the layers back. Like, in our program, the B.R.O Project, it's stipend-based. Those guys, they get paid to do self-work.
Amazing.
Nice.
Right? Like, they got 10 hours a week where they come to group psycho education. They got to do 1 hour a week of therapeutic care, and they get paid for that. Now, these are 18 to 24-year-olds who may not be working or not in school. We actually incentivize them, and it's a 10-month program. I wish it could go longer, but they're getting paid bi-weekly money, so it keeps them from feeling like they need to sell anything or do anything crazy. It incentivizes them to come to program consistently. So to answer the question, when we have our brothers and sisters who are coming home from war, that's war.
Yes.
Right? That's war on the mind and the body and the spirit. We can't just thrust them in society and say, hey, learn how to drive a bus, because they will drive that bus off a cliff.
Yeah.
Or they will stop the bus to beat the hell out of somebody if they are triggered.
Yeah.
So the jobs need to be self-development. Pay them to take care of themselves, because you have spent or took tax dollars to incarcerate them and turn them into savages.
Yeah.
So if we have done that, it's our responsibility now to allow them to rehabilitate.
Yeah.
And that's going to take time, and no OSHA trainer is going to change.
Right.
I mean, how many guys we know got construction jobs and they use all their money to get drunk and high or go gamble?
And the stigma is bus drivers. That's what they all.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there.
Cigars and cognac. Right.
Yeah.
Like nothing changed the same.
Yeah.
And it's also a toxic environment. Everybody sleeping with each other, all type of stuff going on in those environments, because we are not really, we pacifying it by giving people $60,000, $80,000 salaries, thinking that money is going to change your behavior. It's not. So I want to help Tyrone. Listen, bro, come get this money that you would get in OSHA.
Exactly.
Right? And fix your brain. Fix your emotions, bro.
Yeah.
So you think if we evolve into that type of community, like mindset, the age difference will heighten?
100%.
Got it.
We just talked about it. Like, if a person's not feeling well, the first thing we do is attack our own bodies.
Yeah.
So it's just like, there's no job in the world that'll make a person become better just because they got the job. It's just going to expose them to different type of drugs or different type of habits, because they have habits that they need to break. So That's what I think we should do. We should self-development should be the
Self-development.
key to life.
Self-development, y'all.
Yeah.
You want to get into tea and treats?
Yes, this is one of our favorite segments. I am Ebony Nicole. I am the owner and operator of Queen of Banana Pudding and Desserts. And every episode we bring a little treat for our guests.
I've been eyeing it since I got here.
Do you? You've been eyeing it since like, do you eat banana pudding?
Yes, I do. I do.
Oh, okay. Now, if y'all have my banana pudding, then y'all already know.
It's the best on the market. So
best on the market?
let's just start there.
Let me pass it.
Yes. I've been a customer for how many years?
For how many years?
Since inception, since the beginning.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, she's made cakes for my children's parties.
Nice.
And yes, the list goes on. Definitely follow my cuz, Queen of Banana Pudding. Yes, she does events, school events, community events. She does it all, and this is the best in the game. So we're going to do a live review.
Yeah, we got to
Oh,
do
yeah,
a
we're gonna
live
do a live
tasting.
review.
We're doing a
All right,
live
good, good, I'm gonna tell you.
tasting.
Live
And I want you
tasting.
to be honest.
I'm gonna be honest. It look like it look good. It look good. So
Take your time. Take your
it's
time.
good. Oh, let me get another one just to be sure.
Double
Look,
split.
America, look, see you. See what Ab did to me? I'm on a journey.
No, but listen, I do vegan. I cater to all because I do practice and promote wellness and health. So I do vegan, low
And
fat,
low in calorie,
low
right?
Calories, yes. Hit me up at Queen of Banana Pudding on Instagram, Facebook. Put them orders in.
So, and what we like to do, right, play on words, is we get into the treats and some tea.
Tea.
So, Ebony, what's the tea?
Yeah.
What's the tea?
Look, listen to tea.
Because I know you were taken back and just floored when you seen it. You the one who encouraged me to watch the videos about the most recent ICE agent shooting.
Yes.
Who killed the U.S. citizen Renee Good in South Minneapolis. So for the audience, right, an ICE officer fatally shot a woman last Wednesday, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't this week, right? It was last week.
last week, yeah, last week.
In South Minneapolis, leaving the city reeling and community members outraged. This is ironic, but the shooting happened at East 34th Street and Portland Avenue, more blocks away from where the Minneapolis officer murdered George Floyd in 2020, sparking off weeks of protests. So, what are your thoughts?
That's a tough one,
What
man.
are my thoughts?
On ICE and the approach they're taking, that they're not held by constitutional law, from what I'm learning in the research.
Yeah.
Because they report straight to the administration.
Yeah, I think the only thing I could say to that is I remember when I was a kid, my pops used to be like, we're gonna be back in slavery. Hearing a black man say that as a kid, I was like, man, this is crazy.
Right.
I distinctly remember being in the backseat of the car and be like, here you go again.
Right.
And the things that I'm seeing with this chattel-like incarceration and approach to human life, his voice is ringing in my head. They are beta testing us and trying to normalize incarceration, oppression, abuse on people's lives. And when we start to see Caucasian white people being not just arrested, but shot down,
Right.
it is a scary thing.
It's a scary time.
So I think the notion that I have is that we need to somehow start to have more conversations because I don't think that we all know what to do. I feel like there is this subtle fear amongst Black Americans in this society where we like, all right, well, it ain't necessarily us. Because if it's us, they're going to really take us down. So no one really knows how to approach this. But I think we need to prepare ourselves because it's going to, I don't think it's going to get any better. No time soon. So
Well, they're warning us that it's going to be a trickle down effect. Like it's going to be. I'm seeing certain Africans or even
African brothers and sisters
are being snatched up in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Yo, this is scary times. And I just say we just got to continue to pray because, I don't think it's like you said, Barry. It's not going to get any better no time soon.
We got to just prepare for whatever that fight gonna look like.
Continue to have the conversations, like you said, and hope for the
I just
best.
seen another video today where these guys are like protesting for ICE, and they started to fight like with the protesters.
What?
And I mean, it was an all-out brawl. It was like civilians versus civilians. So that's something else that we've never really seen. I mean, we've seen a little bit in Charleston, but now when you start to see civilians fighting, like he is causing mayhem.
Yeah.
At a level that I think is historic. So.
Sheesh, man.
Are you spiritual?
Yeah, I like to say I'm spiritual. Yeah, I definitely feel the sense of things that said in the Bible. Nations will rise against nations. All of the other stuff, I ain't getting canceled.
Right.
There's one in
watch
there
what you
that,
say.
you know, you can't tell man from all that good stuff.
Right.
Can't tell season from season. So there's indications of all of that stuff that's not supernatural. It is actually the timeline. I think we're speeding it up. But I definitely see it. Definitely see it.
Well, this has been amazing.
This has
been amazing getting to know you. And we appreciate you even taking the time to come see. You never met us, so to just come and say, listen, I'm going to sit down with these ladies.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, see what questions they have. We definitely need to come and visit the B.R.O experience.
Definitely.
Where are you located?
So we're located in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, on 7 Marcus Garvey. So, we're right across for a landmark, right across from Woodhull Hospital, where we do a lot of our work. So, come by, hang out. Actually, I don't know when the episode going to come out, but we are having an event at the end of January where we are asking people to purchase a book written by or for men of color because we're building out a black male library. So young men and older men can come and get books from the B.R.O space.
Perfect. I was going to squeeze that in there. I want to really push my goal of teaching self-publishing. I have a self-publishing playbook. I want to give back. So we need to connect. If you ever wanted to gain some support, to have some of the cohort members learn how to self-publish, I'm willing to assist or be there and support in any way.
No, absolutely. We could do a reading circle for the book. So
I love that.
Space. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, we got to make that happen. So the last segment of the show is a new segment that we came up with, and it's called Money Moves Moment. Okay? Why? Because we want your money to make money. Okay? Money Moves Moment is where we stop just talking about money and start making it work for us. It's about shifting from spending to owning. From surviving to investing. When our money starts making money, we build freedom, stability, and generational wealth, right? And so my question to you is, Barry, what's one way you believe in making your money work for you, whether that's investing in the market, real estate, or ownership? And what lessons came with it?
Yeah, so invested in stocks. I really like that. A lot of people like invested in land. So but like the long-term stocks and things like that. So I am doing Robinhood and one of my biggest
talk your talk.
Yeah, one of my biggest uses is Acorn.
Oh, talk your talk.
I have my daughter on it, my eldest son, my wife. We all use it. I like it because it's like investing that's not as evasive, or you gotta like watch the money. So it's always every 3 months we'll like check check your Acorn account. They be like, woo, so it's
growing. It's growing. Yes, I'm telling you. Listen, Barry, I've been trying to tell these people, when you start investing, first of all, is essential, right? But when you start investing, you're gonna see your money make your money. So if you got money in the bank, start owning these banks. Get some shares, right? And invest. Apple, Google. What stocks you invest in? You mind asking
absolutely.
What you
and
into?
Another thing is putting your money in high yield savings accounts.
That's
right?
it.
Because you want your money to actually move faster than it would if it's sitting in a regular savings account. So doing high yield savings.
That's good.
Or long-term investment. But yeah, I think by 2027, I want to get a little bit more aggressive in stock shares. So I'm preparing I have my eldest son is 28 and Chase is 9. My daughter, she'll actually be 20 in August.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to build a portfolio with them too.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah, because they have the energy now. So I'm like, listen, I'll put the money in, y'all put a couple dollars in,
right?
And let's kind of build this wealth together.
Yeah, family business. Yeah.
So you incorporate that in education at the B.R.O?
Oh,
yes. So we actually do. Shout out to Capital One Bank. We partner with Capital One.
Come on.
And they teach finances and investment to our participants.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that. Good stuff, Barry. Thanks for joining
thank
us.
We appreciate
Yo, this is really therapy for me. It was a little.
This was
I got some tools. I know the
good.
audience got tools. We thank you so much, Barry, for coming. You could have been anywhere,
But
you
here with
came
us.
here. And
no
you
doubt.
blessed
Thank y'all. Thank
the
y'all for
Respectfully
having
Ebony and Destiny podcast. We appreciate you guys. Listen, comment. If you like the footage you seen, leave a comment, like, share, and all that good stuff.
All of the things, hit the notification bell, and let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find us at www.thebroexperience.org or bewellbro.org. On social media, we're the B.R.O Experience Foundation. Yeah, that's all on our platforms.
All right, and let your next move be your best move.
And it's a wrap. Let's go, Barry.
That's dope.
I love it. Wait a minute. He said, chart that thing down. And then you said, can I have a follow-up?
Wait.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode and be sure to listen on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.